All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good evening, good evening. You might have caught us talking about the Cubs and the Sox and how awesome it would be if the Chicago Bulls won something. But we might have the World Series where the Cubs and the Sox come in. I think the city needs that. I think it'd be awesome, but you're not here for that tonight. You're here to talk about property taxes. So what we have for you tonight is a very special night with two very special guests. We have Commissioner Britton and we have Northfield Township Assessor. We're here tonight, guys, because we're here to help. We're gonna answer questions tonight. We're gonna have a nice Q&A. But before I go into my spiel, we're gonna hand it over to the commissioner, and he's gonna do what he does best.
Thanks, Hector, and thank you everybody for being on this Facebook Live. You know, the one thing that I get a lot of as a Cook County Commissioner are questions about people's property taxes. And it's important, and I know why people have those questions, because at least from the outside, it looks like a somewhat complicated system, but it's really not that complicated. And that's why Hector's here, along with Priscilla, who's in the background, to make it all very simple. And the thing that I get more is questions about, do I need a lawyer? How do I appeal my property taxes? All of that stuff. And what I've learned, and I didn't know this before I got elected and started doing these, is that you can do it yourself, because Hector can tell you exactly how it's supposed to work. So, you know, I understand that people want some help with these things. That's why we try to do this. The assessor, Patty Damisch, is here and solely as an advocate for taxpayers. That's her job. She's not there to tax you. She's there to give you help so that you can pay the right amount of your taxes. And regardless of whether you're a Republican or Democrat or independent, nobody wants you to pay more than your fair share of taxes. And so that's why we're here to try to help you make that happen and to pay whatever you owe and not a penny more. So, you know, I don't know how many of these we've done, Hector, but, you know, Hector does a wonderful job of making it entertaining, putting a lot of pressure on you, but I'll give you a lot of useful information. And then, you know, the assessor can talk a little bit at the end. So thank you so much for participating in this. And Hector, take away.
Thank you for the kind words. And the reality is, I have the type of personality where I feed off the energy of others. So typically when we do these events, there's 500, 600 people in the crowd, and it's kind of like stand up with taxes. But tonight is gonna be a little bit different. You are going to be here with us on the other side of your screen. So if you're on your iPad, if you're on your cell phone, if you're on your laptop, your PC, whatever you're doing, guys, we're here to help. Here's what's gonna happen now. I'm going to go over a presentation with you all, and then afterwards, we're going to do a Q&A, including the assessor and the commissioner, and then the wonderful assessor from Northfield Township is going to close us out. If you have any questions, please go ahead and write them in the comment section right now, so that when it gets time to get to the Q&A, you're not freaking out, trying to scramble, trying to get that in there for yourself. Or I don't want you to forget the question either, right? Lastly, this is not a one-man band. I want to give a shout out to Teresa, to Angelina, to Michelle, to Maura, to Priscilla, to Kelvin, Nicole, everyone, Scott, everyone, the whole assessor's office, guys. COVID kind of threw a wrench in our system, but we have been working endlessly to try to make sure that we handle everything given to us to continue to provide the same kind of service that we were when we were in person. Please keep in mind that the assessor's office has about 250 employees. There are 1.8 million different properties in Cook County, so you do the math. We're just trying to do the best that we can, guys. So let us get in. Let's get it in. So let me share my screen. Give me a quick second. All right. Now, if you can see my screen, can I get a thumbs up? Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me do this. All right. Building a better assessor's office. So very quickly, guys, the township, I'm going a little bit ahead of what I want to do, but it's going to make sense, I promise. The county is split up into three sections: the city, the northern part, and the southern part. Right now, the southern part is being reassessed. Next year, the city is being reassessed, and then after that will be the northern part of the county. Why does that matter? Well, what you see on the left-hand side of your screen is called a reassessment notice. It's black and white and typically has a picture of your house on the top right-hand corner. Now, This is not a bill. This is not a bill, right? This is information, important information. So it has your property index number. It has your township, your neighborhood code, your construction type, your class, your property's age, the different values your property has had in the recent years. Then at the very bottom, it has a deadline of when your township is open for appeals. You'll only receive a reassessment notice when your property's up for appeals. Real simple. You can check to see when, if you're not receiving this or you haven't received this, you can go to our website, cookcountyassessor.com, click on appeals, and then click on the calendar portion. And there is where you can find your specific township and when your township is open for appeals as well. On the right-hand side of this screen, you'll see a yellow and blue tax bill. This is a tax bill. You get 2 of these a year. You get a white and blue one in February, and you get a yellow and blue one in July. Now, the reassessment cycles, we just talked about this briefly, but here it is. Shout out to Nicole. She is one of the most important people in our department, guys. She takes complex issues and things that we don't really understand, and she makes them into nice little pictures that make it easier for us to understand. So here's what I was talking about. The yellow is the southern portion of the county. The baby blue is the city portion, and the darker blue is the northern part. The southern part of the county is what is being reassessed right now. Next year, like I said, is the city, and then after that is the northern townships. This happens once every 3 years. The assessor's office, Assessor Kaegi, our goal as all the employees in the office, we want to make things as fair, as accurate, and as transparent as humanly possible, right? Our goal is to get things done right the first time. Not to say that sometimes there aren't any mistakes, but the reality is that is our goal. That's what we aim for, to do things right the first time. But if we make a mistake or you don't agree with the values that we make or that we have, then that's why you're here tonight. So if you have a reassessment notice and you want to appeal because you don't agree with the value of your home, here are the steps. But before we get there, I just want to challenge you, right? So we hear this every day. We get emails like this every day. We get, DMs like this every day, social media, all that jazz. Hey guys, I want to appeal because my friends are appealing. Hey guys, I want to appeal because I was told to do so. I got this letter in the mail. Listen, if you believe you can sell your home for the value we have it assessed at, then you should not be appealing, point blank. However, if you don't agree with the value of your property, then you can definitely appeal. You just need a reason. We're going to go over those reasons shortly, but you can't just do it because you were told to do it. There has to be a reason for your appeal. Because once you appeal, our analyst is going to review all the evidence that you have submitted, determine whether or not there's going to be a change in that value or not. And then from there, they're going to decide if you're going to get a decrease or you're going to get a no change. You can do this online. You can also print out your application. For those of you all who may not want to do this online, we prefer you do it online. You can track it if you do it online, but we understand. So you would go to cookcountyassessor.com/online-appeals. I'm going to leave this screen up for a couple seconds, let you guys take a picture of it, let you guys screenshot it, write it down, whatever you need to. But from here, from that link, you can go on to our online portal. You can start your appeal. You can save your appeal. You can revise your appeal. But once you submit your appeal, you are done. And you can do all of this from your laptop, from your cell phone, from your Apple Watch. I'm just kidding. You can't do it from the Apple Watch. Well, maybe. I never tried it, actually, but I'm going to try it. From your PC, from anywhere, guys. We want to make this as easy as possible for you guys. You can submit all your supporting documentation. You can upload everything, and it's free. Now, I got a letter yesterday from Swindle & Brothers and Barlam & Bailey's, and they said, hey, for 33%, we can guarantee to lower your value by, I think they said $10,000. Spoiler, my township closed back in July, so they couldn't do anything. But you might get letters like that, and it's up to you. You can definitely use them if you want to, but we do it for free, and I'm going to literally walk you through it in a couple seconds. So It's up to you. It's your prerogative. Please note that in 2020, we have changed the rules a little bit. So before, you may have remembered that you had 30 days to appeal, and then you had 10 additional days for additional documentation, and you had like 3 days to do a re-review. We stopped all of that. You have a total of 35 days to file your appeal and everything you need with it. And now I'm going to show you how to do that. So first, you would go up to your search bar, and you would type in cookcountyassessor.com. From there, you would hover over till you get to the appeals section, or tab, sorry. You would click on there. There's the appeal calendar and deadlines, but you would click on online appeals. And then here is a visual aid. I'm super visual. I have to see things to learn them. So we have this here for people who are like me. And then underneath, we just have all the different things you're going to need for your appeal, your email address and documentation, all of that good, fun stuff. And then when you're ready to appeal, click the blue Launch Online Appeal portion. Now here, you will have to create an account. It's super easy. And you just enter in your information. Now, once you do that, you're not going to get this screen. You're actually going to get a screen before this that's going to ask you, what kind of appeal do you want to do? Do you want to do a residential appeal, which is going to be almost everyone? Residential appeal means you have a home, a residential property, and your PIN number ends in 4 zeros. Or you're going to do a condo co-op appeal. That is a condo. That means your PIN number ends in 4 different numbers, like 1378 or something like that. Now, once you choose the correct appeal you want to start, this is where you would go to next. We chose residential because that's the majority of the people that we deal with. Sorry, I keep hitting my desk. So from here, we just want to verify the information. You can give us your PIN number, you can give us your address, you can give us your city, your zip code, and your property class. Then from there, we just want to know, are there any certificate of errors that you want to file with this appeal? Now, this is a little bit different. For those of you all who have had me in the past, you know that when we speak of certificate of errors, we're typically talking about exemptions, or someone missing an exemption, or forgetting an exemption, or an exemption didn't make it onto the tax bill. That is not what we're talking about tonight. An appeal with a certificate of error means, hey, there's a factual error that we want to address, not an opinionated error. A factual error would be wrong square footage, or wrong class, or we've been assessing you, or we've been assessing you as a building with 6 apartments or less, but you really have a single family home. Something like that. There's a factual error. Now, here, we just want to know, are there any additional PINs? Now, you might be saying, why would I have more than one PIN number? Very simple. Some people have property that sits on 2 different lots. Real simple. 2 different pieces of land. So you would know if you had more than one PIN number because you would receive more than one tax bill. If you receive more than one tax bill, then you need to fill this out. More than one than the 2 you should already receive, right? So that means you receive 2 in February, or 2 in July, or 3 or 4, whatever the case is. Now we need to know who the filer is. Super simple. You just click the drop-down button, and then you tell us, are you the taxpayer, executor, former owner, or tenant, liable for the property taxes? And then you do it again. You give us your information. You give us the information of the property your property, with your phone number and your email address. And then from here, this page is a little unique. So we get questions like this all the time. Hey guys, you say my home is really 100 years old, but it's really 60. Or hey guys, you say I have a 2-story home, but I really have a 1.5-story home. Or I don't have 3 bathrooms, I only have 2, right? If that is the case, this is where you would fix that information. The property characteristics, this is where you would fix that. So you just come in and check. Nope, I don't have 100, I have 60. Nope, I don't have a 2-story home, I have a single-story home, or a 3-story home, or something like that. Now, remember earlier when we were talking and we spoke about you need a reason for appealing? Well, here you go. So there are different reasons why one would appeal. The first one, lack of uniformity. That means myself and Priscilla live on the same block, house built by the same person, same size. And for whatever reason, my value is higher than Priscilla's, which means my tax bill is probably greater, which means my property may not be uniform to the other properties in my area. Typically, when people check this option, oh, and you can check more than one option. Typically, when people check this option, they want to submit comparables. You absolutely can do so. I'm going to show you how in a second, but you don't have to. Our office is going to find comparables for you. That's their job in the upstairs where the analysts are. They're going to find comparables for you. The next reason is overvaluation. That's probably everybody in here, right? There's no way my house was worth this much. If my house was worth this much, here are all the keys. You can have it, right? The next one is vacancy. Super simple. If you have an empty property, just prove it. How do you prove you have an empty property? Taking pictures. Well, I don't have a nice camera. That's fine. Everybody has a cell phone. Just and you can submit all that information. The next one is fire damage, self-explanatory. If you choose that one, we will need police reports, fire reports, incident reports, estimates from the insurance company, all of that. The next one is what we just talked about, property description error. That's where we say, hey, I don't have 3,000 square feet. I only have 1,000 square or something like that. The next one is building is uninhabitable. This means you physically cannot live there. It does not mean the wallpaper is ugly or the kitchen is too small or my husband still lives here, right? No, it means you physically cannot live there. You're missing a roof, a wall, a floor. You have that nice yellow sticker or that orange sticker that says you can't come in. The next one is building no longer exists, self-explanatory. And other is a little bit different. Other is act of God, right? So you might have a situation where there's a bad storm and lightning strikes a tree and the tree falls on your house. That would be terrible first. But second, that's not an option here. So we kind of need to know what happened. So you can check field check requests, And what that does is it says, hey guys, I want someone to actually come out to my home and check it out. Now, they don't have to go inside your house, but from the outside, they can redraw, remeasure, and just make a educated analysis of what's going on, right? Here is the next page. This is where you would upload any information, right? Any comparables you may have had or may have found, any, plata surveys, any pictures, any appraisals, anything, right? This is where you would do that at, but be careful because some of these have different size limits. So just pay attention to what you're uploading where. Just because it says appraisal doesn't necessarily mean you have to put an appraisal there. Just pay attention to what you're uploading and where you're uploading it at and the amount of, files you can and the file types that you can. All of that's listed right here, guys. Next, we get to the submission part. Now, this is where it gets a little interesting because you have to read the fine print. First, you fill out the information, and then once you fill out your information, you'll see the red fine print says, please be advised that once you click submit, you will not be able to make changes or add additional documents to this filing. Submit is in yellow at the bottom of your screen. Once you click submit, you're going to get another message that says, are you sure you want to submit this filing? Once you click yes, this is what you're going to see. This is your confirmation page. I'm going to leave this up for a second so you guys can take a picture or kind of remember what it looks like. It says confirmation on it. It says, thank you. Your request has been successfully submitted. It has a filing ID right here. It says, please print off a copy of this filing for your records. It also asks if you want to print the filing. Guys, this is your confirmation. We get emails every single day that say the following. Hey, guys, I filed and I have my filing ID, but I'm waiting for my email confirmation. Are you going to receive an email confirmation? Absolutely, but it's going to take a while. This is your confirmation. All right? So what I'm going to do now is come back here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And then we're going to jump into some questions. So let me bring in the commissioner and the assessor. Let me unmute them. All right, guys, how you guys doing? You guys are good?
We're doing great.
Beautiful. So now, on your right-hand side, you should see the comment section. Do you guys see that?
Yes.
Beautiful. So what we're going to do is we're going to hover over some of these questions. And then if it's okay with you guys, I'm going to say, hey, Assessor, do you want to tackle this one? Or, hey, Commissioner, you want to handle this one? And that way we're all involved. Are we good?
Sounds good.
Beautiful. So let's see what we have here. We have Teresa Chandler says, hello, how you doing, Teresa? Thank you. Liz giving us a high five, a wave. Thank you for being here tonight, guys. All right, Linda, let's see what we're going to do here. So Linda says, if I already appealed my taxes, do you know when I received the results of my appeal? Interesting question, Linda. So here's what I can tell you. Before COVID, this would have taken maybe 3 to 4 months, depending on the situation, depending on the size of the township, depending on why you're appealing. With COVID, it is going to take a little bit longer. That's just the reality, guys. So just what you can do is you can do a couple things. You can go to our website, cookcountyassessor.com, put in your PIN number, and then you can just track what's happening. You can go to your property characteristics, go down to the appeal section, and just see what's happening. It'll say work in progress or appeal finished, you know? Oh, and thank you. Man, I love our team. Thank you, Teresa. Here's the link right here. If anyone wants to appeal, this is where you would go. Gary says, you said at one time you would show how to add comparables. Yeah, let me share my screen again, Gary. Sorry, guys. So this is where, let me find it. This is where you would add your comparables. So the options you have are more than what I show on the screen. I was just, trying to save space on the screen, but there's a longer list than this. You just scroll down and click select files and just find your comparables. If you want to, you can also contact your township assessor office. Assessor, do you want to go ahead and tell them about the AIM program?
Absolutely. We have an in-house program that we help develop that can search in a matter of a minute. We can find comparables for you based on your property class code, your neighborhood code, your construction, your size, all the variables that the assessor is interested in knowing to make it as equitable as possible. And I can scan you that result. I can fax it to you. I can snail mail it to you. Unfortunately, we don't allow people currently to come into our office, but any of those other options, happy to give you those lists so that you can then file an appeal with the best possible evidence.
Commissioner, I know that in the past your office was open and you guys were definitely helping people file. Is that still an option with you guys? Or are you guys doing?
So we're basically the same as the assessor. We're virtual. Awesome. We can make an appointment and socially distance and wear a mask, and we can do something at my office. It's a lot easier to try to do this though virtually. And again, pretty much everything we could do, the assessor can do. We can do it from your home, and you don't have to come in.
Awesome. No, that's great, guys. I feel like a lot of people are going to gravitate to that, especially like now. We've had a couple festivals in the city. We had a couple events. We had a lot of people congregating that shouldn't have been. So now I think everyone's like, hey, guys, I'm just going to call in. Let's see what else we have here. Philip, how you doing, Phil? Thank you for checking in on us. This is awesome. Teresa, you are killing it tonight. If anyone's interested in finding comparables, this is where you would go. I'm going to leave this on the screen for a couple of seconds if you want to take a picture of it or a screenshot so you know where it is. But you can go to cookcountyassessor.com/find comparable properties with dashes in between the words.
Can I also say too, I'm finding, we've only been open 2 days, of course, but I'm finding certain people are not comfortable. They don't know how to scan and attach, and we're happy to file their appeal for them with their permission. We'll go over first what we're going to say, and then we will scan it from our computers and file it for them if they'd like. That's what they need. Absolutely.
And fun fact, guys, if you have information that you want to scan or fax, but you don't have a scanner or a fax and don't have access to any of your elected officials, if you have a cell phone, they definitely have apps in your app store. It doesn't matter if it's Android or Apple, but go with Apple because it's the best. You can just literally take a picture of whatever you're trying to fax or submit, and then from there you can send it via email or you can send it straight to a fax. Like the apps in your app store are excellent for this kind of stuff. So we definitely want to take advantage of all that. So it looks like those are all. That's strange, but it looks like those are all the questions we have today. So I'm gonna wait maybe just another 30 seconds, just to if anyone wants to jump in with a question.
I can share with you, Hector. Because we've done this 8 or 9 times, I think.
Yeah.
One question that I always thought we always got, and which I think is really, really important for people to know, and so I'll ask it.
Cool. So
if I appeal, and it turns out that my property is underassessed, is the county going to bill me more money than I was going to pay before? Because that would stink.
That was funny. So that's a layered question. So let's break it down. If I appeal is the first question. If I appeal, will the county raise my value? That's question number 1. The answer is no. Worst case scenario, absolutely nothing will happen unless you have been finessing the system and somebody did a squeal appeal, which exists in our office, and you are caught. Guys, don't be that person. Just tell the truth. We had a situation where someone escaped the system for 7 years. They got caught. They got back taxed with penalties and interest, and it was not a pretty sight. The second part of that question, which you did not ask, but it was asked a different way. Here's the reality. So the city of Chicago gets reassessed next year. So we're going to use the city. You get reassessed next year. Let's pretend you appeal right now and you get a value that you're satisfied with. Next year, you're going to be reassessed anyways. And when you are reassessed, there is a chance that your value may go up just depending on the situation of your township. When that happens, people are very quick to say, the assessor raised my value because I appealed. That is not how appeals work. Appeals last for 3 years, depending on when in your triennial you submit it. So for example, I live in the southern townships. This is our first year of our triennial. So if I appeal this year and I win, it'll last for 3 years. If the northern part of the county gets reassessed in 2 more years. So if they were to appeal this year and win, it would last for 2 years. The city is going to get reassessed next year. If they were to appeal this year, it would only last for 1 year. So all that to say, can the county increase your value from an appeal? No. The county doesn't increase your value. The people around your homes that are buying homes increase your value. But no, nothing will happen. Worst case scenario, absolutely nothing happens. Liz, how often can I file an appeal? You can appeal 3 different times within a year. The first step is the assessor's office. The second step is the Cook County Board of Review. And the third step is the Property Tax and Appeal Board. I would just let you know that you can go to all 3. It doesn't matter what our office said. So even if you get a reduction from our office and you're still not satisfied, you can definitely go to number 2, which is the Board of Review, and so on. Eric, can I use the same password? First of all, this is a YouTube comment. YouTube comments are worth 20 points in our office, so thank you. You could be watching anything else, but you're watching us. Can I use the same password I have for the Cook County Treasurer's Office website, or do I need to create a new one? I don't know, but the reality is if you're going to create a password, we're supposed to say don't use the same ones, but I would use the same one. Everything for the county has the same password. That's what I would do if it was me. So you can create whatever you want. Angelina says, when is the second installment tax bill due? Typically August 1st, but this year it's a little bit different. This year I think it's October 2nd or 3rd. We want to thank the Treasurer's Office. The Treasurer has decided to gracefully allow us to pay our tax bill a little bit later. They understand that COVID is real. They understand the effect that COVID has had on homes, on unemployment, on the rest of the county. So they're definitely being gracious.
Yeah, it's October 1st.
October 1st. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Any other questions? Let's see. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Payment is due to the Cook County Treasurer's Office October 1st. You can go to their website at www.cookcountytreasurer.com. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you. Guys, just very quickly, thank you all for being here tonight. You all are very important people. You literally could be doing anything else in the world, but you're here with me, so I appreciate it. I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. We don't have any more questions, so we're gonna close. So, Commissioner, do you want to say anything before the assessor closes out?
Just real briefly, Fritz Kaegi got elected to try to make this a transparent and fairer system. I ran with Fritz. That was my intention too, and he has done that. And people like Hector who work in the assessor's office have done a great job of making it. It was good before. It's better now. It's more fair. It's more transparent, and it's easier for all of you. And I just want to thank everybody at the assessor's office for doing such a great job.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Hector, great job again tonight as usual. And Scott, wonderful being with you. I think Scott will agree with me. Our favorite kind of citizens are well-educated citizens that understand the system. And that's what we're here for. That's what our offices are for. Everybody, every property owner, once every 3 years, when you get that reassessment notice, you should be doing the research either on your own or through one of our offices to see, is it fair, is it accurate? And I will say many times, you're not going to have a case because the assessor does do a good job and the numbers look right when compared to your neighbors. But you need to know for sure, because otherwise you're going to be paying more in taxes than you should be. Our office is also to help you with things like exemptions, homeowner, senior, disabled veteran, disabled person. There's lots of different components to your tax bill. Make sure you understand them or call one of our offices and we'll help you through it. That being said, also kudos again to Assessor Kaegi. I think this appeal system online is really easy, very user-friendly.
It's amazing, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the only hang up will be some people, maybe especially some of our older people, don't have the ability or knowledge about scanning. We'll help you do that, no problem. Give our offices, I've got the number right here. Give our office a call. We're happy to do the research for you and get you the information or do the appeal for you online. Whatever you need, whatever level of involvement you want for yourself, we're here to help. So please give us a call or email us at that address. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you guys so much. This has made it easier for me. Like, our team used to have to go out and carry 800 appeals. Do you know what 800 appeals is? One ream of paper is 500 pieces of paper. And then they had their additional documentation. Like, we used to carry big boxes back and forth. So this is awesome. Thank you guys for your kindness. Assessor, thank you so much. You've always been kind to me. Commissioner, thank you. You've always been super kind to me. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a great night. If you're watching this right now, go ahead and share it. Go ahead and like it. Go ahead and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a cousin to tell a brother they didn't know they had. Tell everyone, guys. And then lastly, if you're just jumped on or you're on YouTube and you don't know what's going on, you can always rewind or you can always fast forward. Follow everyone that's here. Continue to just partner with us, guys. We're going to do as much as we can to create content that's relevant to what we're doing now. We love you guys. Please stay wise, stay safe, and above all, stay blessed. You guys have a great night.
Thanks, Hector. Thanks, Patty.
Awesome job.